You're in that. Farnsworth is in that. It's just a wonderful film. What's Clint like? Is it like, okay, we shot it, we're done, we're moving on?
Exactly.
Welcome to A Word on Western. I'm Rob Word, and today we are going to be action-packed because we have a stuntman and an actor who has worked with Quentin Tarantino. He's worked with Eastwood. He's worked with Hal Needham, the great stuntman, kind of replaced Yakima Canutt as the modern stuntman. And his name, who's joining us today, is Walter Scott. Walter, come on in. How are you? Thank you. Have a seat. Well, it's nice to see that you're walking, no broken bones. You're looking great, healthy.
Sometimes.
So, you were in a film filled with kids, cowboy kids. It was John Wayne's The Cowboys that Mark Rydell directed. I love that movie. Even though Duke gets killed, it's exciting. The kids get their revenge. How did you happen to get in that?
Well, Buzz Henry was the stunt coordinator on it, and I was on another show in Mexico. And he asked me if I'd like to play a part in it. And I said, well, sure, I'd love to play a part in it. So I finished in Mexico and went to Santa Fe and went out on the set, great set, one of the greatest sets I've ever seen built. And Mark Rydell was the director. And when we went out, we rehearsed with him in the trailer and hadn't met John Wayne or anything. And we went, he says, come on, let's go out on the set. When we go out on the set, John Wayne's inside the corral, and when he comes out, so we stand there, and John Wayne comes out, so why don't you boys get a Ingersoll watch and get here on time or something? My line to him was, well, your work is like dogs, night and day, and Christmas too. And he looked at me and he said, is he gonna read that line that way? My heart's beating like that. I said, shit, he hates my acting. Because if he does, I'd hit him. Better move him over there. Well, I just jumped over there. But he was great. Yeah. I mean, he was so professional.
I'm next. My name's Homer Weems, Mr. Anderson, and I hope I ain't wrote all the rough off of it.
You all right, boy?
Yes, sir. My name's Clyde Potter. They call me Fats.
Tending toward the gut myself.
Not everybody knew how to ride, did they?
All those kids did. Those
Really?
kids that they cast. Buzz Henry came out to a roping arena by my house even. And Clay O'Brien, the littlest one, he became 8-time world champion team roper. And all those kids were good hands. They were amazing. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I'll cry when I'm watching these little kids.
And Bruce is so bad.
Oh, he's bad.
Ooh.
He had hell living that down. He still does.
Well, it took him a long time. Laura Dern, who just got an Emmy, said that she'd go to school and the kids hated her. They just teased her. You killed John Wayne.
Right. Oh, he was a dirty scumbag. Yeah.
Point your ears now, son. Because you ain't running back to Mr. Will Anderson with them eyes rolling back in your head, telling him that there's these real bad men that been following us day and night. You're not gonna say that. Because I'm gonna come to you some night when it's real dark. I'm gonna come to you on tiptoe. So you ain't never gonna be able to hear me.
Recently, they did a film called, was it Hateful Eight? Mm-hmm. And they had a young guy in there doubling Bruce. He's an old man now like me. And
he's older.
Anyway, the kid wasn't falling like an old man, so the coordinator called me and said, Walter, would you mind coming in and doubling Bruce? And I said, what I got to do? He said, you're sitting in a chair and you just stand up, you get shot, and fall back in the chair. So I think I could do that. So anyway, I go in there.
Get stunt pay for that, okay.
Right, I go in there and they stand me up, and Tarantino said, no, you get shot, you go over that table, and you hit over here on the floor. And my son was there, who's a stuntman now. And each time I did it like 8 times. And the first time, my son had come in and said, Dad, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. So the last time, I knew he didn't have any more clothes for me, so I did it, and my son came in and kicked my foot and said, Dad, you all right? I didn't answer him, I just laid there. He kicked me again and said, Dad, you all right? And Tarantino said, Wes, make him answer you. I started laughing. I said, yeah, I'm fine. Anyway, that was my Bruce Dern story.
Well, Quentin loves movies, and I tell you, the Django Unchained, I know you worked that too. That's his highest grossing movie.
Really? I didn't know that. But
that's why he was able to make another Western, Hateful Eight. But working with him, is he so creative on set, or is he give you everybody a lot of freedom? What's he like to work with as a director?
Well, you know, I didn't work with him that much. I mean, I was there. They say he used to watch, he worked at Blockbuster, and when nobody was renting films or whatever, he would look at them, and he looked at all these old Westerns. So he told Jeff Dashnow, who was the coordinator on Django, he said, I want some of these legends in here. He says, get that Walter Scott and that Terry Leonard and, I don't know, Buddy Joe Hooker. And he brought us all in, and so Tarantino says, I want to meet these legends. Yeah. So we had sacks on our heads anyway. We were in that scene, which was a funny scene.
That is a funny scene.
But he was, I don't know, I thought he was great. He was in that scene with us. And he would say, get those legends and bring them in here to my trailer. I want to show them this film we've just shot. Well, I thought he was a nice guy and easy to be around.
We got a fight going on that's a good bit of fun.
He loves movies.
Right.
And I heard on Hateful Eight that he kept the soundstage freezing cold.
Oh, man, it was 32 degrees in there. You were just freezing cold in there, you know.
So the breath was real, we were saying.
Yeah. Everybody had to put coats on to go in, but it was, I think it helped the film, you know.
Yeah. You've worked with another legend, one of my favorites, everybody's favorites, Clint Eastwood, and I think his favorite Western for me anyway, my favorite Western of Clint's is Outlaw Josie Wales. Right. You're in that, Farnsworth is in that, it's just a wonderful film. What's Clint like? Is it like, okay, we shot it, we're done, we're moving on?
Exactly. Yeah. No, he's very good. In fact, we started that film with another director.
Philip Kaufman.
Phil Kaufman.
Happened to know that, that's
right.
all.
And we shot for 2 weeks. And Clint didn't like what he was doing. He's being very creative, you know, pan up from the wheels to the actors and stuff. And Clint said, that isn't the kind of film I make. So he took over and started directing. And we still came in 2 weeks early and under budget. But he would just print and move on. You know, he was very, very good at what he did. But I thought it was a great movie,
too.
It's
wonderful, from the relationships and everything.
Right.
Well, and his relationship with Sandra Locke, I guess, was kindled on that film.
It was kindled right there, yeah. And Farnsworth, I had 4 old-time stuntmen ride up and meet him, and the old Chief Dan George was saying he's getting the sun in his back, you know, all this. And I had Dick Farnsworth and Bear Hudkins and the 2 Walker boys.
Leaves dead men wherever he goes. Get out of the way, woman!
If I get to liking someone, they ain't around long.
I notice when you get to disliking someone, they ain't around for long either.
In fact, they're all gone now, all 4 of those guys. And Dick was a stuntman then. I don't think he'd done much acting.
No, he said he was falling off a horse's still that year. Then right after that, he did Comes a Horseman. I think you coordinated that.
Right. Well, it recommended him to do it.
Yeah.
That's another story. But anyway, those guys all did backovers, and I thought they did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
And they were all in their 60s, I think, at the time, you know.
Well, so with Comes a Horseman, where Dick got a part, finally. He said he was a blinker, though. It was hard for him.
Well, you know, I was on scouting locations with the director, and he was having hell. In fact, he wanted Jason Robards to play that part. And I said, he's not right, you know. But I said, we're out to dinner one night, and I said, I know a guy I think is the perfect guy for it. Now, I don't know how good he can act, but he's perfect for this part. He said, what's his name? And he wrote it down on a napkin, Dick Farnsworth. Dick came in to meet him. He didn't have to read. He just walked in and he said, you got it. And halfway through the movie, he said, I'm going to get him nominated for an award. Just watch. And he did. So Dick did a hell of a job, but it was just a natural. That was him. That whole character was him. Yes, it was. You know.
You know, you cry. It's so heartfelt when he's gone.
Yeah.
This season's going to hold the worst work we ever done. It's going to be worse than last year.
I never wanted it to happen this way, but you left me no choice.
From their struggle comes an adventure, comes a romance, comes a love. the land has never known, comes a horseman.
Hi, I'm Rob Word. Thanks for watching A Word on Westerns. Each week we post a new episode, and all you have to do is subscribe right here. Click on this, you won't miss a one. Adios.